y'all, good morning. So we're back with another topic. If you could read by the title, I actually don't at this moment know what I'm actually going to name the title. But however, this video is going to be about me pursuing my education, me pursuing a career in education, and just a little bit of things in between. So why not just jump right in? I came across a video on TikTok, and they were talking about perspectives of teachers. They were talking about how these new age teachers are having a really hard time with some people's children, and behavioral issues have been skyrocketed. I personally, of course, you have to put a little bit of blame on the parents, but I'm an avid believer that people are who they are, even from children. Not only that, I genuinely think that the pandemic did a really big number on everyone's mental health, and people are not realizing that. There are so many people who are in DV relationships. There's so many children being abused at home. There's so many people being abused or watching their parents be abused. There's so many people who are living in poverty. There's whole many people dealing with so many things that they genuinely had to sit and deal with during the pandemic, that I genuinely think that it did a huge number on a lot of parents, families, households, children. It did a number, and people aren't taking it as serious as they should, and they aren't taking the pandemic to a huge account on what it did to all of us. And so, like I said, I don't want to blame just the children, because they're children, and you can't fully blame parents either. The sad part about it is when you go into the education system wanting to be a teacher, these are things that are really a given. You're working with 8 to 20 students, depending on what age group, or 23, I think, depending on which age group. And never in life has having that many children been easy. Just ask someone who has a lot of kids. It's never easy. So I just think that there are so many. I want to go into the education system. I'm finishing up my degree now. And when I go into teaching, I have learned so much through TikTok, through, of course, being in school, through my friends who are educators, through examples. I've had teachers, of course. I wasn't homeschooled, so of course, and I wasn't even in private school growing up. My brother was in private school growing up. Unfortunately, I had to go to private school, but that's just things that happen. My mom did a little bit better with the second kid that came, and rightfully so. You got to do what you have to do. Sometimes, your first kid is kind of like the trenches baby, it's like the example child. So, but I always feel like, the oldest kids are usually the most strongest and everything, because we've had to really, deal with the stigma of just being that oldest child and going through the motion with our parents, as opposed to the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, So that's that, right? So when I go into the education system, I truly want to be a very active teacher with the parents, with my students. And I understand that we can't get super personal, which is fine, because boundaries are so important. But I just really pray to God that I am a really good teacher. I've had the blessing of having so many good teachers in my life, you guys, that I can name you almost all the teachers that I've had. I'm gonna skip kindergarten because even though I love this teacher, I won't ever forget the fact that she called us monkeys. She was first a librarian and then she turned into a teacher. She got married, but she called us monkeys, you guys. So she was my kindergarten and first grade teacher, I think. I can't remember who my first grade teacher was. I can't remember. My second grade teacher, I don't think I can remember who my second grade teacher. My third grade teacher was my favorite teacher in elementary school. Her name was Miss Carter. And then my fourth and fifth grade teacher was Miss Rizzo. She was awesome. I think she was Italian. Very smart, very in tune with her kids, and she was no pushover. She was real good. Miss Carter, everyone was scared of Miss Carter. She was the real definition of what people would call a baddie. She was really fine, a beautiful, gorgeous woman, gorgeous body, just super T. She was my favorite. I wanted to be just like her when I grew up. And then Miss Rizzo, of course. Then I went into middle school. I had the big three: Mr. Daly, Miss Ayers, Miss Hall. So we switched off into their classes. Oh, and Mr. Mike. We switched off into their classes through middle school. I'm trying to stop saying and I'm trying to. These videos are really teaching me how to build my vocabulary, because you guys, it's so hard. I try to really anyways. High school, I had some really good teachers in high school too. My teachers dealt with a lot with me. You guys, I think that if it's anything, that's when I really became a troubled child in high school. And you guys, I just know I'm gonna have a few that really takes me overboard sometimes, because you got to get that back. You have to get that back, So I genuinely think that I'm gonna be a super stern teacher though. Pushover, no. I might even low-key come off a little bit mean than anything, but mean and very loving. My kids my kids will know that I love them down. I'll take care of them, buy them food, you know what I mean? And I genuinely don't just want to teach. I also want to have another job that is lucrative for me. I had a really good example in high school. One of my teachers actually was a teacher during the day, and he did real estate, or he owned properties. I know that. So I know that he was making money, and I just wish that I just listened to him. You know what I mean? You think about it when you get older and just be like, wow, he's doing the exact thing that I want to do. If not real estate, I definitely want to do home decor, DIYs, and sell my DIYs, or go to people's houses and do home decor and stuff. I would find so much fun in that. And I know that my mom loves doing stuff like that too. My mom is very into that. So I know that we will have a good time. And of course, I would definitely want to be bigger on YouTube, just spreading the gospel, spreading the word of God, being a motivational speaker. So that's why I'm really trying to up in my vocabulary, and these videos really do help me do that. I know that in the future this is going to be really, the Lord is definitely going to bless the channel, because I'm not coming here trying to do anything besides spread the word of gospel, and of course just take you along my journey and just be a better example for myself and for other people. So if those are my goals, those would definitely be my goals, to just make it big here on YouTube, make it big in a classroom, have me a lucrative business on top of that. And then I feel like I'll be straight. I wanted a lot of kids, but I think that the only way that I would honestly have a bunch of kids is if I marry someone who really has money. This economy is suffering so bad. And I realized that having children really takes a chunk out of your mental health. So like having my daughter, I didn't realize how much it not damaged me, but did a lot to my body and my mental health. And I'm in the process right now of getting better. But every day it gets better. It gets better. It's not hard all the time. It's just some days when it is hard, or moments when it is hard, it's super hard. Sometimes I don't even want to get out of the bed. But I would love to have a lot of kids. I wanted to have like 5. But if not, the most maybe now with the economy, like 3. And if I don't ever get married, I'll keep my 1. I didn't want to have any children out of wedlock, but lifing sometimes, so it kind of just be like that. So I had my 1, and that would just be that, unless I get married. And then if I get married, I'll have some more. I'll have like maybe 1 or 2, depending on how many my husband wants to have. And that'll just be that, But those are just my goals really in life. And, like I said, you guys, I'll be an open book, with boundaries, of course. And I just really just pray for everybody. I came across some very motivating videos this past week, and it really put me in a different mindset with life, with my choices, with healing for the most part, because I've been healing, but healing is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, you guys. Because healing is crying sporadically. Healing is forgiving people that you don't want to forgive, but you have to forgive them. Healing is having those conversations with yourself over and over again about how they got you so upset, and how you just can't deal with them, and how you're gonna move on. It's so ugly. Healing is so ugly. It's not cute. It's not a walk in the park. Healing has no time. And I think that is probably what terrifies me the most, is that you never really know how long it'll take for you to heal from a situation. But what I am going to do from now on, I'm going to make sure that I don't put myself in situations that will cause me to have to heal from. Saving yourself is listening to yourself from the beginning, seeing the red flags, listening to your gut. Simple. If you just listen to your inner voice, you listen to your soul, you guys. Get in tune with your soul. Get in tune with yourself. I told you, love yourself. Get in tune with your soul. I promise you, you will save yourself from so much heartache. And the thing is I'm not saying that I'm trying to dodge life, because life do be lifing. But what I'm saying is I'm going to start listening to myself more. Because when I listen to myself more, I avoid so much. I will avoid so much. I could have avoided so much, and I will avoid so much, because moving forward, I will listen to me. Sometimes it's hard. You don't want to let go of the situation. You don't want to let go of these people. You love them so much. You love your family so much, baby. I'm not saying that you have to leave them in the dust, but I'm saying for your sake and your mental health and for your healing process, it's not easy. So do what you have to do and learn how to love with boundaries. Me and my best friend have been friends for so many years, and she is one of the most solid relationships, if not the most solid relationship that I have besides my parents, or examples of just, like, out of my friendships, she is the most solid. And it's because we genuinely have boundaries. I realize that is how I am going to keep my relationships with all my friends and family, is boundaries. Listening to their boundaries, accepting what their boundaries are, accepting my boundaries. We start getting angry and resentful with people who have boundaries because sometimes we don't have that self-control. You want to be mad at people for the boundaries that they have for themselves, to keep themselves sane. You don't know what is in their mind, what they think about, how they feel, not necessarily about you, but just how they feel about any situation and how they need to protect themselves. Yes, have those boundaries. Maybe I won't understand in the beginning, and I'll feel like, dang, am I not a good friend? Or does she not trust me? Or do they not love me? And if that's how you feel, if that's genuinely, once you dissect the situation and that's how you feel like the person is more so trying to push you away than have boundaries, then you know what you have to do. You know what you have to do. But if that is not the case and the person just has boundaries, that's okay. You have to give people boundaries, because when it's time for you to set your boundaries, you can't and you will not want anyone to step in the way of that. You would not want anyone to try to destroy that. And it's not fair to you because someone else doesn't have them, that you have to take that, and you don't. Y'all know I go on a tangent. I go from here to here to here to here. But yeah, teaching, boundaries, goals, that's what we on. That's what we on, you guys. That's what we on. I genuinely think that I am genuinely going to pursue all my goals, and I have so many ideas, and I'm so excited for my 30s. My 20s was a ball. Don't get me wrong. I've been everywhere I wanted to go. Besides out of the country, I haven't really been a traveler, but that's like the only thing I haven't done in my 20s for real, was travel a lot. I traveled to like different states, of course, but and did a lot of road trips, but I didn't get on planes for real and go to different countries. So I definitely think that my 30s are for sure going to consist of more vacations, and I'm going to get into that era, that bag. So I'm excited about that. I just got to get a few more kinks and notches out the way, and these are my last 2 years in my 20s, so it's very woo, oh my goodness, I'm going into my 30s, you guys. We're gonna blink and 2 years are gonna be gone. I'll be blowing my candles out for my 30th birthday, you guys. That is so exciting and terrifying, because after 30 it's 40. Oh my goodness. And after 40 is 50. I don't know why I'm thinking so far out, but it's just whoa. Your 20s flies, you guys. I used to be telling everybody they was old. I was one of them youngins. Telling everybody how they old. Mind you, I'm still so young. The crazy part about it is that when you get to that cut from 26 to the 29, you get the feeling like, dang, I'm so old, but you're not. Like, when you step out your body for a second and just like, you are a baby. People look at you like, still like you fresh meat. You just got a little knowledge. That's all they say. You're not 21 dumb, but you ain't that smart either yet, buddy. You don't have your life fully together. And even if you do, you may have your life fully together, but it's something that you're not educated in. There's an area that we all aren't educated in. So that's just that, y'all. It's such an exciting thought, but yet like makes my chest bump out my heart bump out my chest. So I'm just excited though. I'm not even gonna hold you guys. I'm definitely excited to just, grab a hold of my goals for the next 2 years, work hard so that I could really reap the fruit of my labor in my 30s and really just have a soft, I'm gonna go into therapy. I keep saying I'm gonna jump into therapy, going to therapy. I've been doing a lot better with going to church and stuff. And if I don't go to church, I watch live. I'm always in my Bible. I definitely read a scripture almost every single day. And I pray at least twice a day, usually. So I'm definitely getting better with my spiritual. And that's why I think that I've been convicted a whole lot more. But that's just a whole other conversation. I'm just doing the spiritual work, the healing work, the physical work, and just preparing myself for me to just have a really good and easier next decade. Because you guys, my 20s was I had a ball, but I was just when I look back at it, it's I just really did what I wanted to do. And cool, because I didn't have a kid, and I was just doing me, But Nori came at the most perfect time for me. She came when I was 26. And that was at the time where it's kind of yeah, girl, you kind of, if you want to live a decent lifestyle, you need this baby. You got to sit down, because y'all, I was just doing anything. I wasn't serious about anything. And it's it's cool, but at the same time it's not, because that also plays a big part into your mental health. And I think that's why I'm struggling so much sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, because of a lot of my choices I made in my early 20s. And in your 20s, yeah, live your life, do what you want, but you can't just do anything, because there's nothing stable. When you turn back, there's nothing stable, there's nothing lucrative. You're just doing anything. And sometimes doing anything, you end up with nothing. So I just want you guys to, if you are watching this and you're in your early 20s and you don't know what to do, sit back and don't do too much. Just do enough. Go to school, make sure you get your education. I know you've heard that a bunch of times, but get an education. Even if you don't know what you want to do, I'm telling you, just get an education, because sometimes it saves you. Just having a bachelor's degree can put you in a $2-3 more pay grade. It doesn't seem like a lot, you guys, but it does make a big difference in your future. You will be surprised, so just get that degree. Get you something stable. Try to get you, if you want to be in a relationship, I know it's kind of hard to work with people, and of course I'm not telling you to stay in any situations that are not serving you, but I'm telling you, if the relationship is boring, let the relationship be boring. It seems like it's boring now, but it's going to be a blessing in the future. I'm telling you, because the things that people are going through behind closed doors, you can only imagine, and you will not be able to fathom half the things that people are actually going through with their partners. So if you have a healthy person, he or she is decent, you guys, don't take good people for granted, because there's not many out here. It's not many out here. Those are just my few little things, you guys. Things that I learned in my 20s, the things that I'm going into my 30s. I got to start watching some videos on some girls in their 30s, because the girlies in their 30s don't really know what they doing either. But it's like, I don't want to go into my 30s feeling like that. I don't want to go into my 30s feeling like that at all. No. I need to at least know what I'm doing. At least know what I'm doing career-wise. At least have a stable income. And then just have my stable whatever else. Of course, like my home and like my lifestyle, of course, will be stable. But as far as like my career and stuff like that, like I don't want to be confused about nothing going into my 30s. I don't. I genuinely know I have a passion for teaching. I know that I have a passion for helping children and stuff like that. So I know that I'm going into my right field. I was in criminal justice before. Too much anxiety. I don't have the heart to see a lot of things, feel a lot of things, hear a lot of things. So I know I'm in my right field. So I know I'll be all right. And I know for sure that I really just want to make some money. Like I really, really want to be not like the wealthiest person in the world, of like, you know, or have the biggest house on the block. Like that's not really my goals. My goals is just to really real life have God in my life, work hard, and but not like too hard at the same time. Work hard in the sense of like, because I still want that money, but also like not have to work hard, because I genuinely love and have a passion for what I'm doing. So it won't even feel like I'm actually working, if it makes sense. But just getting the things that I need to get done. But yeah, those are just a few things that I want in my life. God, a good career, and a very comfortable life. Peaceful life. Like, just no real drama. You know, 20s was just too drama filled. I lost a lot of family, a lot of friends. Not to like anything serious, but just like disconnect, arguments, and you know, it's sad. It's sad. Because sometimes you feel like almost like you're the problem. It's like, dang, if I'm having trouble with all these people, is it me? And it's like, yeah, it could be you for a lot of things, but I realized a lot of my situations were just more so about respect, you know. And I grew up being like the type of person that I just allowed a lot of things to like slide. So when I finally started like speaking up for myself, I lost a lot of people, and that'll happen, you know. You start speaking up for yourself and you start not allowing people to just do anything with you, you'll lose a lot of people gaining your respect. But it'd be like that. So that's why I don't feel bad for the relationships that I've lost, because the ones that are the real good ones and the ones that matter are still here. So I can't be that bad, you know. So that's just that, you guys. I'm glad that y'all are here and listening. If you made it this far, I love you so much. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get like a better camera, or at least a better phone soon, probably in like another month. And probably gonna try to start like recording in my house, like just like finding a little space, getting a little bit like cuter and stuff like that, better background and things. And I guess this is just like these are like the demos, like just trying to get a feel and helping my vocabulary and things that I don't like. And yeah, I love you guys though. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.